Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer. I'm so excited you guys are here today. It's gonna be fun. We are doing the eyeshadow palette tag. And so really what this is, it was started by Allie, Glines, and Samantha March. They collaborated and started the eyeshadow palette tag. Essentially what we'll be doing is going through 13, 14 categories or so, and I'll be picking an eyeshadow palette that matches the particular category. For example, the newest palette, the oldest palette, and so on and so forth. So that's what we'll be doing today. I'm so excited. This is so much fun, y'all. I had a very hard time picking out a palette. Just one. It was very difficult. But before we get into it, I just want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing, all of you. If you haven't subscribed already, I invite you to do so. Just hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos from me. Tell me what your favorite palettes are, you know, in the different categories that I'll be speaking to. I'd love to know. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. All right, we're starting with the newest palette. And the newest palette to me is this particular Tom Ford palette in Honeymoon. So this is what it looks like inside. I do have a try-on video with this particular palette, but this is the newest palette to me. I'm excited to try Tom Ford. The first Tom Ford palette I tried did not work out so well, but this one was a hit. So this is the latest palette that I've tried. The next category is the oldest palette. Now, oh my goodness, it was so hard to remember when I purchased a particular palette, honestly. It was between this and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance one. I couldn't remember, but I think this is it. This is the Chantecaille Protect the Lions eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like here. It's really pretty. And I'll show you what it looks like inside. This is it here. I remember using this on a cruise we went on and things like that, so it holds some great memories as well. But this is such a beautiful palette. Chantecaille shadows are beautiful. The most expensive, guys. Oh my gosh, I remember when I got this. This is the Tom Ford Soleil Eye and Cheek palette. Now, this is my first Tom Ford palette per se, but I had not had a particular Tom Ford quad before. This is a cheek and eyeshadow palette. So you can see it here. I remember getting this for Christmas one year and it was the best ever. I was so excited. I remember just being thrilled to use this. But this is actually a really nice palette. It is my most expensive palette. It comes in at a whopping $155. The most affordable palette. Now, I was watching Jessica Braun talk about affordability and like what that means to other people, and that's such a hard word, and she was explaining that, and I totally agree. It's really hard to kind of narrow down what the word itself means. Do we say cheapest? Do we say affordable? Do we say this is the most affordable that I have right now? I don't know. It's hard. But these are $3. These are by e.l.f. And these are just the cutest little guys ever, and they're good. They're so good. I have mine in, let's see, Cream and Sugar, which is kind of your neutrals here, and it's so beautiful. It's easy too. And then the other one I have is the Rose Water, which is a good neutral one too. Now I have one more which I haven't dived deep into yet. This is the Truffles one. It's a little deeper. I kind of pick and choose between them if I want something a little darker, but these are $3 a piece. They're easy, they're great quality, and they're pretty affordable too. The Everyday palette. Oh, this is hard because I am pretty neutral in general. Kind of like the everyday girl anyway. So for me, it was kind of hard to pick an everyday palette, but this Dior palette, the Cool Neutrals, I almost dropped it. The Cool Neutrals palette by Dior is definitely an everyday palette for me personally. I love the shimmers, I love the kind of baby pinks, and the neutral tones. It's just so easy. Great quality product here, and you're getting a lot of different finishes and just overall a good palette. Okay, most colorful palette. I have one that's a little bit more colorful than this, I would say maybe, but it was my best memory palette that you'll see a little bit later. So I went with this one because I wanted to try something different. This is the Natasha Denona Lila palette. So this is pretty colorful, I will say. These shades, when you swatch them, have such gorgeous reflect to it. For example, this one here, you can definitely see the reflect. It looks totally different than it is in the pan. So it's kind of cool. It's a great palette. And what I like about some of these palettes too is I can make them everyday palettes. This I can make an everyday palette. That might be something neat to kind of show y'all, because I feel like these can be wearable, definitely. For the everyday person, you could wear this to work. I might do some videos like that. Would y'all be interested in that? That might be a cool idea for a video. What do y'all think? Tell me down below. My smallest palettes are definitely my e.l.f. palettes I just showed you, but I have a second smallest palette because I just use this for my most affordable. My second smallest palette is the Victoria Beckham Tuxedo palette. I actually have two. I have the Tuxedo and I have the Tweed. These are super, super small compared to, so you can see the e.l.f. here. It's about just a little bit bigger than, they actually might be very similar. Let's see, this is 8.5 grams and this is, well, this is smaller, 3.5 grams, but still, they're little. They're little. This is really good, y'all. Great pigmentation, such beautiful shades. I really enjoy Victoria Beckham. This is one I definitely need to use more too. My biggest palette is my Tati Beauty palette. Now, I was really excited to get this. I haven't dug into it in a while though. I do think that her formula is really good. I don't necessarily wear a ton of these glitters per se, but the actual textures within the eyeshadows are beautiful. Great pigmentation, great blendability. I like the idea of having the same color in different textures. That's really fun and something a little different that no one's really ever done before, and I like that a lot. Okay, best memory. This is the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. This is my best memory because I took this with me to the Cayman Islands on a trip with my husband and my best friend, and we just had the best time. And I remember just playing around with all the different colors and things like that. So when I say this is probably my most colorful too, it's probably true, but this was just such a great palette, and I just attribute this palette to us in the Caymans and, you know, the beach and the warm weather, and it was such a good time. We had the best time. I actually had this on my eyes today. The palette worth the hype is my Pat McGrath Divine Rose palette. It is worth the hype, y'all. This bad boy was sold out, and sold out. But now it's in stock. I think they're carrying it at Sephora now, but this is such a beautiful palette. It's great for every day. I just adore these shades. They look beautiful on the eye. It's a great palette, and the textures are great. It's definitely worth the hype, and I understand why. Not worth the hype. Okay. This was hard because I liked this palette at first. I really did. The more I continued to use it, the more I didn't like it. And it wasn't the matte shades. The shimmers and sparkles were so crumbly. It was very difficult to use. And the palette I'm speaking to is the Too Faced Born This Way. This is the Neutral Nudes palette. It's gorgeous. The color story is right up my alley. I love these shades. They look so good with like my colored eyes, pinks and mauves, and they're just so pretty. The shimmers themselves are really gritty and they're difficult to wear on the eye. So that's why I will say this is the palette that's not worth the hype. My favorite palette from my favorite brand has to be this one. And y'all are gonna probably be surprised, I bet, because I have not talked about this a lot on my YouTube channel, and I need to because it's so good. This is the Pat McGrath Blitz Astral Quad. This is an amazing palette, you guys. It looks absolutely stunning on the eyes, and it gives such a beautiful eye look. I definitely would recommend this if you're looking for some good shimmers, guys. Oh my gosh, I just want to swatch it for you. It's so beautiful, and it just, look at this. I know. It's amazing. Amazing on the eyes. My most used palette right now is this Natasha Denona Mini Retro palette. This is such a beauty. It's $25. It's a good price in my opinion, but it's definitely my most used. I think these shades are really gorgeous on the eyes, and it's a great everyday palette, and I just tend to reach for it and pick it up, and it's just one that I really have enjoyed using. Okay, y'all, that concludes my eyeshadow palette tag. I hope that y'all enjoyed watching this. It was so fun to tell y'all all about my eyeshadow palettes because, I mean, there are a few more in my collection, but these are the ones that really fit the mold for the categories that, you know, we're in this eyeshadow palette tag. I just really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. So much fun. Let me know if you like this video below. I'd love to hear from you. What are some palettes that are in your collection that you just adore? I would love to know. And I just really appreciate y'all being here. Honestly, I really do. And every like and comment just means so much to me, and every subscriber, just so thankful. So thank you so, so much. If you haven't subscribed already, I invite you to do so. And guys, I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.